What is a niche, Bradley, and why do I need one?
Your niche is you packaging your skill set and experiences over your professional career and translating it in a way that easily communicates what you bring to the client from a value and output perspective. Help them visualize what a tangible outcome that you could bring based on the experiences that you've had. Most consultants really struggle in this area. So if you can do it well, it's a differentiator and will lead to much bigger deals.
How does defining my niche help me to get five-figure deals?
The biggest deals come when you're validated. You want to convince the client that you are 100% the right person to solve their pressing need. This is a little less crucial when it's someone you directly work with in the past because they already know what you're capable of doing. It's much more important if you either get an introduction to someone in your network or it's more of a cold lead. In those situations, you want to go to them and say, I'm Bradley. This is what I bring to the table. These are the experiences I have that validate that this is true. And I can solve your problem in the following way. For me, I could point to that I launched Uber Eats in Miami. And so if I'm talking to specifically a food delivery company or any other three-sided marketplace, I can say, I launched three-sided marketplaces. I launched Uber Eats in Miami, and thus I'm well equipped to solve your problem as well. If you can get really concise and specific in what your niche is and back that up, that's when you'll do a really good job in validating yourself. They'll be willing to hire you quickly and give you a really high rate to solve their problem.
Wouldn't it be better to have a really wide definition of the services that I offer?
The short answer is no. The more narrowly defined your niche is, the more clear it is to the client whether you can solve their problem or not. If you go to a company and you tell them that you're this smart jack of all trades, that might sound great, but they don't actually know what skills you've had, what experiences you've had, and can you really solve their niche problem. So actually, the more narrow your niche is, the better.
So why is that? Won't that limit my number of clients?
It actually won't. It's actually going to expand your number of clients, and here's why. If you go to a client and you tell them that you're this smart jack of all trades and you can do all these different things for them, frankly, it's going to be really hard to get hired. And the scope of who you could work with if you're this quote jack of all trades is pretty much every company in the world. So by actually narrowing your niche, we are picking companies that you can actually add the most value to based on your experiences. It will narrow it down, yes, but you'll actually have a great chance at closing those clients. And my guess is when we really nail down your ideal client, your specific niche based on your experiences, we're going to narrow it down to at least a few hundred companies, is my guess. And how many do you really need? You might want two or three to accomplish your goals. For me, my first client paid me 25 grand a month in 25 hours a week, right? If I had two of those, I'm crushing it. So narrow your niche, limit the number of clients that are potential for you, get those high rates, and you'll meet your goals.
So Bradley, I really think that I'm a jack of all trades, though.
And you're not alone. Most people that come to us tell us that they are a jack of all trades. What we tell them to do is to go back through their career, really list out those top professional accomplishments that they've had, and start looking at one, where they've done well in their career, and two, what they enjoy doing the most. The great thing about consulting is you can really marry those two and say, I love doing this, and I've also done this in my career, even if it wasn't the thing that you did for the greatest period of time. Pick those accomplishments, find things you love, and you'll start seeing some themes. Obviously, we can help you do this as well. And then you'll get to a more refined niche that you can go and present to clients.
So Bradley, can I have more than one niche?
Of course, you can have more than one niche. In fact, most people have two or three. I had three specific ones when I was consulting. What you can do is you can tailor the niche that you present to that client. So in my case, if I were talking to a logistics client, I would refer to my Uber Freight experience and talk about helping to build and launch two-sided B2B marketplaces. And I would change that niche depending on the client I was talking to. And so the hard part is to pick one sentence or two that really presents yourself overall and then you have niches under that. So it's depending on how specific you're going to get. Talking about, for example, your website, you're going to have a more broadly defined niche of maybe I launch 2 and 3-sided marketplaces. And then depending on the kind of marketplace you're talking to, your niche could be 2-sided B2B, 3-sided B2C, etc.
Is the time ever right to accept a job that falls outside of your core niche?
This goes back to your why you're consulting, your intention that you're going into. You can look at the ask and see, is it going to help me meet my goals as a consultant? Your goals could be financially driven, they could be hours driven, they could be industry driven, or learning a specific skill set, as some examples. If it's going to fit into that criteria and help you accomplish your why, then absolutely, I've taken things outside my niche, and you can too. If it's just a project that you're being asked to do and you're tempted to take it because somebody asked you to help, you really want to go back and look at that why. And it's totally okay to say no. In fact, saying yes can do harm, because if you're spending time doing a project that you don't really want to do or is not helping to meet your goals, there is an opportunity cost of that time. You're not spending that time either looking for deals that are a better fit or are going to accomplish your goals. And so you really want to look at that discipline, get comfortable saying no, and feel strong in that opinion of I'm going to take care of myself. And just because someone asked me to do something doesn't mean I'm going to say yes. So take a look at that why, set your intention, see if it fits within that, and then make a decision from there.